Well, good morning. And after a rather lengthy break of 6 months, you're very welcome back to the latest in the Roy's Walk series. And today, it's the 14th of October 2023, and we're at Tyneham. And we're just walking down towards the coast, so we'll just wander down here, then I'll pick up when we reach the sea. Well, I'm hoping you can see this. But just now there's about 25-30 kestrels and eagles, I think, in here, just flying over. There they are, just over there. It's amazing. I don't know why they're all congregating over there. They're not seagulls, that's for sure. I wonder if there's a dead carcass over there or something. So I've just walked down from the Tyneham Village car park, and we're now at Warbarrow Bay. And those of you that follow my channel will remember that I did a walk from Kimmeridge, a circular walk from Kimmeridge that went into Tyneham. We'd look around the village and then we walked back along through the Kimmeridge shoreline back to the car. It was a very good walk, and I'll include a link for that in the notes. And part of that walk was when you finished walking along from Kimmeridge, you walked down this slope over here, and you turn left over there and walked up into Tyneham, where I've just come from. Today we're going to walk in the opposite direction and head this way in the direction of Lulworth, and we'll see how far we get. It's a beautiful day, as you can see. The forecast is dry, which is why it's just been raining, and that is my first go out for quite a few months, and we'll see how the legs are working, shall we? But it should be fun, and I hope you enjoy the scenery as you come along with me on this iconic walk. Over there, of course, you can see Portland in the background. Cameras, of course, never capture how steep things actually are, but let's put it this way, we're walking uphill, and that looks like it's pretty steep to me. I see at the top. Yep, and over that ridge you see Tyneham Cap, and behind that is Kimmeridge on the coast. What a fabulous, fabulous view. Well, my friends, that was not for the faint-hearted. That climb out of Tyneham up here, that is steep. And to be honest with you, as we're pretty sure we're coming back this way, going down isn't a lot better. Bear in mind, it rained all day yesterday and the day before. So that's going to be fun. But the reward you get is just staggering views. And just notice in the background there, as I've often pointed out because it's so iconic in my walks, in the background there you can actually see St Aldham's Head right at the very back cliff. I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit, and we're going right into the sun, but it's literally at the back there. What a day, wow. Well, we've just come over the top of the hill now, and we've got this beautiful view now of the area looking over towards Lulworth Castle, which is just down there, which you can see. That's the site of Camp Festival each year. Very popular musical arena. And we're now going to carry on walking towards towards Lulworth. And as you can see, all the walks are clearly marked with these yellow stakes because they're all range walks. I'll talk more about the range walks in a moment. So, it's on top of the world up here. So yeah, I was just going to talk briefly about the range walks because they're not open all times of the year, and you almost must check the range timetable before you come out. Now normally the ranges are open at a weekend, and Tyneham is open pretty much every weekend, But outside that, bank holidays are okay, and also some selected weeks in the year, but a lot of the time this area is closed because it's a live firing area. So please, if you come out this way, do check the timetable before you make the journey, or you could find all this area completely closed. And I say it is a live firing area, so it's not something that is ancient, it's still being used. Now, I'm not going to go into a huge history of Tyneham at the moment because I went there before, but just for those of you who don't know, Tyneham is now a deserted village, and it was evacuated in 1943 during the Second World War, when the area was needed for military training. And our great Prime Minister Winston Churchill promised the villagers when they were moved out that after the war it'd be given back. Then of course the Cold War came along and it was never given back. Not only that, it was only in the early 70s that access was allowed to the public to the road running down into Tyneham, indeed the walks around here, and that was after a long battle. So what you now see is pretty much untouched land, undeveloped land, and the village itself will never now be reoccupied. It's a living museum really, and well worth a visit. And as I say, my previous video did give you a quick glimpse of that. There's lots of videos on YouTube about Tyneham Village, so we're not doing that today, as I said earlier. Now what you can see over there to the left, to the right there, looking straight down now, I'll zoom in a little bit, is of course, talking about the training, that is Lulworth Camp, which is military training for firing motorised vehicles, tanks, and all around this area you'll see tank training areas, tank firing points. It is a huge training area, and still very much used today. But we get the beauty of it at weekends, and I suppose one of the advantages of being a training area is that it's literally unspoilt, like most of this coast. So we're going to carry on heading down here and see how far we get and attempt to find a circular route, which isn't easy along the coast, but we'll see what we can do. And yeah, just to finish, actually, just seeing over there, again, I try and zoom in a little bit, but you can actually see the firing points just over there, and they're just in the distance, and they often fire into the sea. And then down there, there's another view of Lulworth Castle. Beautiful. So with Portland in the background, looking there, so the far bay, or the bay with the rocks to the left of it, that's Maple Bay. Then we're looking just down here on the coast, and behind Maple Bay and along with it, that's where Lulworth is. So we're not going to reach Lulworth today, or Lulworth Cove at least. We're going to head inland in a minute and head in the direction of Lulworth Castle and do a loop back to Tyneham. But staggeringly beautiful day. We've found some wind now. I hope you can't hear any wind noise because it's got very, very windy all of a sudden. But yeah, that's beautiful, isn't it? And not a bad place to be stationed, I wouldn't have thought, at Lulworth Camp, just over there. Anyway, heading down now. Well, what you're looking at is where the coast path goes next, which is straight up, and the path goes up there and then sort of goes inland a little bit and ends up eventually at Lulworth. And no, we haven't got controlled, cleared through control, but what a beautiful little bay. Strictly MOD only. But we're going to head inland now, and we're going to head up this path here, and you can just see in the background Lulworth Castle. So I think we'll come quite close to that, and then we're going to go up there and we're going to head inland and sort of east really, which will bring us, eventually bring us onto a minor road, and then eventually we'll come in the back way into Tyneham down another range walk. Well, that was a bit strange. So if you're coming this way and the very well marked yellow posts lead you into a wood, don't walk into the wood and get lost, and then find the yellow posts are outside the wire, have a climb over the barbed wire. The initial yellow posts are not pointing in the right direction, so don't go in the wood. How very confusing that was. Yeah, just had to hike over some barbed wire to get back onto this path. That was very, very strange. And looking at the state of the barbed wire, I wasn't the first person. So I left a couple in there as well, probably going to have the same problem in a minute. Anyway, just walking through farmers' fields now, heading towards the road. This is the minor road that goes from Lulworth, I guess, towards Kimmeridge, and it's that Kimmeridge road where you turn off down to Tyneham. Now, once you hit the road, walk along there a little bit. There should be another range walk that comes off the road and starts heading us off towards Tyneham. So when we get to that point, I'll stop and we'll have a chat. In the meantime, we're just on the edge of probably West Lulworth, that is over there. Lovely temperature for walking, lovely temperature. Lots of people out in their shorts. I haven't gone that far today. It's only about 9 degrees when I left home this morning. But you certainly get warm when you're walking up 3-in-1 hills. So we've reached Lulworth Castle. Here's the entrance. Not open today. There it is up there. It's beautiful, tranquil. We've just hit what is a relative main road, but we're immediately peeling off things. See over there the sign to Tyneham and Wareham, 4 miles to Tyneham. That's by the road. That's where we're heading back down there. Now we're not going to do the whole lot by road, but by road it's 4 mile. I think we're going to be doing probably nearer 3.5. So let's get off this road, shall we? So we're on the Tyneham Road now, and also heading towards Kimmeridge eventually. There aren't too many cars along here. It's obviously out of season, but there are a few. They're not going crazy speeds, so we only have about 1.5 miles of this, I think, something like that. So it's not a terrible issue, but it does enable us to come into Tyneham in a different way, which would be fun, rather than just going back and forwards on ourselves. So I'll speak again when we get to the turn-off, which won't be long, hopefully. Well, you just have to love British forecasts. Not a hint of rain. Nope, not even a drop. And here we are, just put my coat on. And if I show you what am I looking at, it's not looking too good over there. So, £1 billion weather technology fails yet again. Luckily we're pretty well prepared. I'm not going to put my leggings on, but I've got my coat on. But it's getting worse. I better put this away before it gets drowned as well. So I've just come off the road now. So a bit of orientation. There, that's Poole Harbour over there. Looking over the whole range area, and to our left towards Lulworth. And this is the range what I didn't take because it was too high up. And this path down here to the left is one we're going to take. It drops us back down into Tyneham. And if we'd carried on along the road, which is down here, you can see the cars, and we go into another mile or so up that way, you'd come to the turning to turn right into Tyneham. And it's a good drive down into Tyneham. It's probably a good 2 or 3 miles to drive into Tyneham from the road. So, and that's a black cloud, which is, thank goodness, passed over now, so we're back to being dry again. And if I just go through this gate, I'll be able to show you where we're going next and dropping down into Tyneham. Lock the gate. So, back on the range walk, yellow markers, and there we are. So the bay there that's back to Warbarrow Bay, and in the background there, and where we're heading for is Tyneham Village, and you can see this down here in the car park where my car is. Just down there, so let's just zoom in a little bit. There we are, we're down there. We're down there, and we've walked down from the car park down to the coast. So, rain jacket off, carry on walking down into Tyneham. So, by the time I get back to the car, I've been walking for about 3 hours without stopping. Probably slightly missing. I tend to think to walk if I was flat, I'd be walking at 3.5 mile an hour pace, but this is anything but flat. So I probably haven't walked that far actually. Probably 5, possibly 6 mile. I think that's probably pushing it. So what we can say about this walk, and I often say, you know, it's a moderate pace and ideal for families. This is probably not moderate. This is probably in places quite severe, particularly the climb out of the Tyneham Warbarrow Bay up onto the top there. That's particularly hard, and going back down again. And if you decide to carry on where I turned off to go towards Lulworth Castle and carry on towards Lulworth, that's another very severe climb to carry on to the coast on the coast path. So it'd be very, very long and tough circular walk to try and do that, but perfectly possible if you're fit enough. But as we're trying to do something a little bit more reasonable, we'll do that another day. As you can see, I'm just dropping down into Tyneham. Sun's come out, beautiful again, and as always I'll include a map of the walk at the end. Probably not ideal to do as much on the road just then as I had to, but it is a quiet road, and if you're careful it's perfectly fine. So I'll have a quick chat when I get to the car, but I'll sign off for now. There we are, just re-entering Tyneham. There's some of the derelict buildings, and the churchyard over there. Quite a few people here now. Gardener's cottage. That's the car park. And we're back. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed coming this walk with me. Actually, had a few hills to climb. Went past Lulworth Castle, which was nice. Saw quite a lot of the firing ranges and some beautiful coastline again. And if you've got the energy and the legs, it's a beautiful, beautiful walk to do. And if you've got the energy to go beyond where I turned off right, make it even a longer but fantastic walk. And we'll come back this way again and get over to Lulworth and carry on the coast and do some more chunks of it, if possible, in a circular walk. If not, we'll do it another way. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon. So here's a map of the walk we've done today. Remember, we started at Tyneham Village, just about here. We then walked down Hardy Way, down to the coast, down into Warbarrow Bay itself. Then we joined the coast path and walked up here, and this was a very, very steep part here. And real warning here that be very careful both going up and down. It's incredibly steep, but you walked by some fantastic views looking backwards particularly. And reach the top, come along here, follow the coast path down, then we dropped down to sort of sea level again, and we arrived here at a little bay, pretty little bay called Arish Mell. Fortunately it was closed by the MOD. So we then started to head inland, and we headed inland with the Lulworth Castle in the background, which you can just see up here. So we walked back up here, all the way here. We had a bit of a diversion by default into the little wood. Came out of that, and then joined the main road here. Walked along the road, had a quick look at Lulworth Castle, an entrance to it just here. Then walked all the way along here, all the way along this road, very minor little road here. And we joined back up with the range walks here. And then we dropped down into Tyneham again, just here. Now, you could have done, as an alternative to carrying on down here, you could have either gone down here and walked back, and then walked along this range walk here, back here, which would mean a much shorter walk, and you missed out Lulworth, but it's a way of making it a much shorter, much more truncated walk. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you give it a go.